This is Heavy Conversation with Bruce and Jody, a podcast where we talk about being a big guy in today's world. I'm Bruce. And I'm Jody. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
Okay, so we talk a lot about the fact that we're seeing more bigger people represented in media.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Magazines and books and
culture. See them everywhere.
Yeah. We're definitely seeing these steps being taken. But one of the things I wanted to talk about today is where is the representation for people with more non-traditional? I say that with my air quotes here. My finger quotes.
He was air quoting everyone.
The more non-traditional bodies, people who I think right now when you think of, and I definitely see this in plus size women's fashion a lot, where there are complaints, people who are complaining about the fact that they're seeing one body type, one specific body type represented and not others.
And they say it's the plus size, but it's still, for some, it's not plus enough or different enough.
Yeah. Not everybody's an hourglass.
No. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. It's like I don't remember what the ratios are, the bust to waist to hips.
Like, I'll get it wrong if I say it. I was going to say something, but it'll be way off. I know. Yeah.
The old Barbie measurements, that ratio is not even possible, I think, whatever.
Yeah. I was going to say, now, because of Sir Mix-a-Lot, the only measurements I could think of, it was like 36, 42, 36. Is that it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it would be the other way. 46, 36.
I can't remember. Anyways. Baby got back, he says, measurements, and that's all I could remember.
Okay. But there was this big announcement for like the male modeling, that there was a big, finally the plus size men's modeling is a thing. It's a thing. And I still only see like a couple faces. They are bigger, which is great. And I love that. But a lot of it is still, like the football player build guy. I see a lot of that in a lot of the like catalogs or some of the, the website, you're scrolling through the websites, and when the plus size, it's like a football type build. There's a specific body type. There's no bellies. There's no love handles.
Right.
There's not a lot of that. And I'm like,
sure.
Okay. We're making progress. We're getting there.
I think the first thing that I want to do here is, say absolutely. I agree. I think we're on the same page with this, that we're seeing basically one type of person, one type of model, or I shouldn't say one type of model, one body type. We are starting to see, more bigger models. If you look at some of these different websites and different brands, they're using different models, and we're starting to see that. But as far as body types go, they are cautiously taking these steps. So yes, I totally agree. I think we're not seeing the diversity of body types that we need to see. That said, I think looking at kind of what the reasons are for that is important, even if we don't agree with those reasons. And I don't agree with those reasons.
What reasons are you hearing?
So, I mean, first and foremost, when it comes to fashion specifically, companies are very hesitant to step outside of the box that they know works for them. So even us getting to this point where we are seeing bigger guys at all being represented, it's a big step forward. It doesn't feel like it necessarily, but you and I mean, we've talked about this on the podcast and off, just about the fact that for so long we would look at big and tall sites, or we'd look at things we were seeing on TV, and nobody looked like us. We weren't seeing that. We were seeing people who were more of a mainstream.
Yeah, I mean, that was some of the inspiration for when we started Bearskin. It was like you go to the department store to look at the big and tall underwear, and the guy on the package is ripped and has abs, and you're like, this what?
Right.
This is
I've never seen an ab.
Right. A who?
Right.
They're under there. They're in there.
Yeah.
But it's like, yes, there are, I do appreciate that there are bigger guys. I think some of the bigger companies are afraid to rock the boat too much. It's like, it's been working we don't want to, if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of thing.
Sure.
But I think we need to, as consumers and advocates and people in the plus size community,
we need to be able to get out there and say, hey, we want more of this.
We need to say, hey, we want,
right.
I want to see what that's going to look like on my body.
They're definitely being hesitant. These companies are taking these baby steps into this and seeing that it's okay. And they're starting to see that there are models that they feel comfortable working with. And they're starting to understand that there is a customer, an audience out there that wants this.
Yep.
I think that for so long, we've been told that, you can't be bigger and that your value is tied to your size.
Not as attractive
right.
or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
But I feel like I was reading some articles, I don't know, whenever, a few days ago. And it's like guys are still self-conscious about their weight and their bodies. They have issues, but they don't necessarily want to talk about those insecurities.
Right.
There's still that. You don't want to show weakness. Those, I think we talked about that, like the masculinity, air quote type things where we don't talk about our issues and our problems, which leads to more issues and more problems.
Right.
But so we don't want to, I don't know, we as in whoever, maybe the companies don't think we want to see that.
Right.
But I think for me personally, I want to see that because it makes me say, oh, that looks great on that guy. That will look great on me because we're the same.
Absolutely.
We look the same. When I see a sports figure or that same body type, I'm like, well, that's not how I look. I don't identify with that. So I sometimes have a harder time thinking that's going to look good on me or whatever,
Right. Right.
And maybe it's me. I'm not a sports guy. I'm not into football. So when I see a football player advertising a thing, it means nothing to me.
Well, I think the football player thing and like the athlete thing is like acceptable fat or acceptable bulk.
Yeah,
it is
because they're still athletic, air quote things again.
Sure, he's 320 pounds, but he also plays for the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, look what he's doing on the field and what what was that guy's name? The Fridge or something like that?
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Refrigerator Perry. Yeah.
Like he's huge.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't have gotten he wasn't on any ads for anything.
Right. Yeah. They do this. I think he did the Super Bowl shuffle, and that was about it. I don't know if anybody remembers that.
I do remember that.
It was like a bunch of NFL players like doing some bad dances. They're literally shuffling, which I got to give it to them because that's about as far as I get with dancing. So
the Super Bowl shuffle.
Yeah, but I digress. Yeah, I think there's just this idea that if you don't have companies think that a customer is going to be turned off by seeing someone with a different body shape. They see somebody who's shaped like an apple or that's kind of square or, not the traditional kind of, even a traditional big and tall guy who carries more of his weight in his gut. Yeah. That's the kind of thing they're looking for. They're not really willing to try different body types. The companies that do give that a try, that embrace those kind of models, they see a better return on that. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I do understand as having a plus size men's fashion company, Bearskin, we do have a harder time. I mean, it's a little different with underwear. I think some bigger guys are still self-conscious. Like I was saying, it's harder to find big guys that want to get in front of the camera for us in their underwear. If in clothing, I think we would be able to find it, but we have a harder time finding those guys. Right. Like we reach out to guys and they're like, yeah. And then, then they
ghost.
Yeah. They're like, oh, actually I'm not as comfortable as I thought or whatever. And we've had a few bigger models for some of our events that we've done, but none that are willing to really do photo shoots for us.
So have you noticed differences, I guess, audience response to different types of models? Like, can you talk a little bit about just general things that you see?
It's weird because we get good and bad on both ends. Like, and I don't even know if there's like we get more reaction or more traffic from certain body types. I'd have to, like, we've gotten more likes or, hearts on Instagram or whatever. Sometimes when we have smaller models, sometimes those pictures seem to get more likes or
Sure.
whatever it is. But I feel like some of the bigger guys guys do appreciate that, because I've gotten messages about, oh my God, I found your Instagram page and it's inspiring and like made me feel comfortable in my body to be able to take off my shirt in front of my partner or go to the beach or whatever it is.
So much of it.
So we get a lot of that.
Right.
We get a lot of those comments, not necessarily like public. They won't necessarily comment on the picture or whatever.
But they reach out to you directly.
They reach out to me directly, which I feel, I appreciate that a lot.
That's great. And really that sometimes that's all that you're looking for, So I think I think that's big. And I look at that with Chubster. We get the same kind of thing when we spotlight someone or put up a reader photo submission and it's a bigger guy, then you see, I don't know, like a bigger response. You see that people are really interested in it.
Sometimes there's more traffic on that article, or
sometimes
whatever.
They're reaching out directly. And it runs the spectrum. It's so weird. I don't feel like there is a specific. I haven't been able to figure out the rhyme or reason to it at this point.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it is like, some guys are just more photogenic, no matter what their body shape or size
is another
is.
Thing. Yeah.
So it could be, this skinnier hashtag normal, whatever.
Right.
Guy is photographed horribly and he does, whatever. But, we're looking for, like, when we're looking for models, we're looking for guys that are, confident and having fun and, have a great smile. Like, there's all these other, just like a feeling, you get a vibe from those people that comes through when when you see the pictures.
Absolutely.
So we're not always looking for a certain body type. We're looking for personalities more. And yeah, we do want bigger bodies. We're trying to get those bigger bodies, but we do sometimes have a harder time finding those guys that are willing to get in front of the camera, strip down to their underwear and,
that's hard to do.
That takes a lot. I don't even want to do that much anymore. It's like,
sure. Right. Being that comfortable with your body and being willing to do that.
I have no problem taking my shirt off, going to the pool or whatever. Sure. Like that's, But doing it for marketing materials that are going to go out around the world. We did at the beginning. We were, I was a model at the beginning of our company, but, I would if, whatever. I would still be fine with it. I don't care.
Yeah, right. It's just one of those things that you have to prepare yourself for. And I deal with the same kind of thing, just thinking about like being, am I willing to do that? Am I willing to, that's something that we don't dive into.
We need to get Bruce much in a bearskin photo shoot.
Right. I'd be down. I would do it.
All right.
I would do it.
All
absolutely.
Right. Did you hear that, everyone? He's going to look for Bruce and his bearskins on bearskin.com soon.
That's right.
Well, speaking of that, I think we're going to need a beer to get up some more liquid courage maybe for that.
Yes.
What did you bring for us to try today?
So this beer comes from Belching Beaver Brewery. Yes, I know.
I'm going to leave that alone.
Belching Beaver is based in Oceanside, California.
Nice.
I've seen this one and I wanted to grab it and give it a try on the podcast. It's called Phantom Bride, and it is actually a beer that was made in conjunction with the band Deftones. It's actually named after one of their songs. I'm a big fan of Deftones, so I saw this and thought, okay, got to try it. Phantom Bride IPA is a blend of Amarillo, Citra, Simcoe, and Mosaic hops, delicately balanced for the perfectly drinkable mix of citrus and hoppy goodness.
Nice.
It's a collaboration between the singer from Deftones, Chino Moreno, and skillfully crafted by Thomas Peters, who I'm guessing runs Belching Beaver.
Must be.
Sit back, put on your headphones, and drink away. Well, we're not doing the headphones thing, but...
Yeah, we don't wear headphones when we're recording this.
I know.
We're experts.
Rebels.
It's an American IPA.
It is. And
it says hoppy, smooth, tropical, light, and fruity. So I don't know. I like the Citra.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I need to start drinking some of the single hop beers. I was listening to the Untapped podcast, and they were talking about single hop beers to really get the flavors of them. So I'm like, because most beers are a mixture of different hops.
Oh,
so
sure. Right.
I was like, oh, okay. So
Nice.
Belching Beaver, 7.1 ABV and a 55 IBU.
Smells good.
Yeah, it smells pretty hoppy.
Yes.
So the 55 is the International Bitter Units. Is that what that is again?
Something like that.
I had a Halls in, so now this is going to taste weird, I'm sure.
Ooh, perfect.
Ooh, yeah.
There we go. All right, yeah. I mean, I'll try anything from a brewery called Belching Beaver.
Stop saying that.
And I mean, really, it's not the worst, name or can. I mean, remember?
No, it's like a Day of the Dead type.
It is. It's got a
graphic.
Cool, yeah.
Oh, that's a beaver skull. I just saw that.
Oh, it is, right. A very, very cool illustration on the front. But I was thinking, we've certainly seen worse.
Oh, yes, we've
the brown note.
The brown note was
call back to one of our early.
Yes, check out the episode with the brown note. That was I don't remember what episode
It was rough. It was rough. Yep. What do you think?
It's not bad. It is definitely hoppy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a little bit of the citrusy,
smooth,
tropical stuff, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like it's smooth.
Yeah, I think I could actually drink this one.
Little.
Did you
funky.
get this locally? You bought it at a store here?
Yes, I did. Okay. I did, and I can't. Oh, you know what?
Right.
I bought it. I bought it at a little community-owned place called Whole Foods.
Oh, the community-owned.
Yes. You probably haven't heard of
Foods.
it. Oh,
no.
Yeah, we like to have cheese sampling nights every so often. My lovely wife and I.
Your date night,
and yeah, it's our kind of date night thing,
Nice.
And so got some cheese, got some. Did we get some meats? Well, who knows? We got some different kinds of crazy cheeses, and picked up a few different beers, and this happened to be one of those. Cheese! Great recommendation if you are a I don't know what they call you if you're a cheese person.
A cheese head? No,
yes,
I don't know.
There we go.
I don't know.
A cheesy, like a foodie. Whatever. If you're into cheese, try Humboldt Fog.
Humboldt Fog.
Yeah, they sell it at Whole Foods, and it's phenomenal.
At the community.
Yes, the community grocer.
What type of beer is
cheese?
Or what type of cheese is that?
It's kind of
checking in. Sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah. No, it is a kind of. It's hard to. It is like the cake of cheeses. Is
it sweet?
It is a little bit crumbly. It's a little bit blue cheesy. It's a little bit. Oh man! Of course, I can't remember
It's all right.
There's another type of cheese that's that we always get. It's like a mixture of a few different types of cheeses.
I'm not a big cheese head. I don't know.
You're not.
I mean, I like cheese.
You like cheese? Okay.
I don't like blue cheese that much.
Yeah.
But I like cheese.
I'm looking
While he's looking, make sure to go subscribe and follow our podcast wherever you're listening. Make sure you subscribe so you get all the latest episodes. We've got a lot of exciting stuff coming.
Indeed. And Humboldt Fog. Here you go.
Okay.
Humboldt Fog is a goat milk cheese made by Cypress Grove of Arcata, California. If you live there and I mispronounced that, 1,000 apologies.
Arcata?
Yeah. It is named for the local ocean fog, which rolls in from Humboldt Bay. It's a mold-ripened cheese with a central line of edible white ash.
What?
Much like Morbier or Morbier. I don't know how you pronounce that one either. But yeah, it has this edible ash. It's like a vegetable ash that's in it. And it is...
from all the California wildfires? There's edible ash?
Yes, they specifically put it in there, and it's phenomenal.
Okay. So is it smoky flavor, or? I
wish my wife was down here to describe it because
Where is
it's
she?
her favorite.
Okay, well. Maybe I'll have to sample that.
Yeah. All I can say is if you're looking for a cheese to try and you haven't tried this, give it a try because.
So, I guess we're gonna have to get some cheese to sample with our beer.
I know. I should have brought it down. We've got some left.
Well, I'll get it after.
Yes.
So also, if you're interested in following along with our beer, we have an Untapped list. You can download Untapped from your app store or wherever. And you can follow the Heavy Conversation beer list, see all the beers we've been drinking, see what kind of ratings we're giving, and take pictures of all your beer. You can get badges. It's fun.
It is.
Fun stuff. I really enjoy it because I can never remember what beers I've had. And I'm always like, oh, I like that beer.
Yeah. And once you've had, a lot of beer, it's hard to keep track of. Yeah. What you like, what you don't.
I just got to get better at checking in while I'm at the place. Like I'll check in like the first one or two and then I forget.
Oh yeah, well,
because I've had one or two.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up. I definitely understand.
All right, so more big or
so
not even big, but just even non-traditional. Like where are I've seen a few campaigns with like, people that maybe aren't as able-bodied in some different campaigns. Sure. And, I think that's really awesome.
Are you seeing that like in men's clothing, that kind of?
I haven't necessarily in men's. I think I've only seen it in more feminine women's type stuff.
Yeah.
I honestly, now that you say that, I don't think I've seen any in more masculine.
Well, I think that's the thing. And that is kind of, men's plus size fashion is so far behind women's just in general. Well, I mean, there are so many things that are lacking on the men's side or masculine fashion if you're looking for that stuff. And there are a lot of brands out there that are killing it on the women's plus size side, but we're just not seeing that for men. And I do think that there are companies that are missing opportunities because of that. I think using bigger models or non-traditional, quote unquote, non-traditional models.
We need to figure out a definitive name for we are.
I know.
Because, like this plus size, we don't know what I think maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
There's not like there is no authority figure on what it means to be a plus size model or plus size man, or
it's still
what size that even is.
So much of it still comes back to the idea that we have been told for most of our lives that we're not supposed to care about that stuff.
Yeah.
So even though we are now starting to care about those things, it's still something that it's just there's no real form or function behind it to say this is what it is and here's what it's about. So everybody kind of has their own little thing. And I feel like very soon we're going to see a large brand, start working with people who have different body types, and we're going to start seeing those things stepping in. We're starting to see that in TV and movies and things like that. And I think that other parts of life, even outside of fashion and all of that, just seeing people better represented,
more inspirational, people in general in front of the camera.
Right.
Whether it's the photograph, TV, movies, just in general. Yeah, there have been more of that. So that's good.
We want to see more of it.
Yep. We want more.
We do. More.
All right. Well, I think
it's a bigger conversation that needs to be ongoing.
Yeah, it's just it is an ongoing thing. And I just like to keep kind of talking about it, getting it out there, letting people know.
It's important to be aware
that we're paying attention. We want to know what you're seeing and what you guys want. Hit us up on our Twitter account, our Instagram, wherever, on the street.
Right. On the street,
which is really weird when people actually tell me. It's weird when I go to places and they're like, "Oh, I listened to whatever episode," and I'm like, "Oh my god, people are listening!"
Wow, they are
listening.
Weird.
You're listening out there, and I thank you. Thank you so much for listening. Share our podcast with your friends.
Yes.
Let them know what we're all about.
Yeah. If you have questions, if you have ideas for topics that we should cover, let us know. We're definitely down. to
talk about
those things.
Yeah.
A little shameless self-promotion here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. By the time this comes out, it will have been Chubster's 9th anniversary.
Woo!
Yeah. There we go. I know.
I want some cake now.
I know. Me too. How about some Humboldt Fog?
Okay, I'll have some cheese.
Perfect.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to Heavy Conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.